Okay, it says we're live and recording, but YouTube doesn't have us. So, are we on X? Where are we? Do I need to do any shenanigans? Let's get the chat up and see. Oh, looks like Facebook and LinkedIn. It says YouTube. It says Twitch. Interesting. Let's refresh over here. Okay, it says we're live there. I don't know what happened to the scheduled recording. But I can't turn the lights on because they're not listening to me. This one's upset that she's in the room again. All right, but good afternoon, good evening, and good day. And good morning to those of you on the West Coast. Still morning, barely. All right, so let's get this adjusted since it wasn't the right one. And then we've got a little bit in the notebook. And then the same people who are disrupting my schedule have got more disruptions in play. So we'll attend to them, and maybe I'll get my paper done. Maybe I won't. Hopefully I will, because got other classes to attend to after this one. No, there's not using AI to alter content on this. And let's save. What's up? Yeah, you. Okay, and then we'll do customize. I knew they didn't check that. They always don't check that. Let's save. Oh, and I'll unmute myself on the X space because I'm muted there for some reason. Some messages. Anyone? For the most part. Right now, go to the live view. Does it have a picture of us? That's the next question. It says live. And if it does, we'll pull up the notebook because there's actually stuff in it today. We learned that last week. But it's always better with the notebook. Just make some effort to do that. Yeah, keep that on the Mac. Don't take my audio. Let's go to open the notebook. It was closed for an update. There you go. Hop right back up where it was supposed to be. That's good. Wrong tab, but that's a whole other issue. There we go. 10th of August. I thought there were more items in it. It says it's only 2. It seems a bit low. Let's go to the phone version of the notebook. It is only 2. That's fine. Just as long as it wasn't missing any of them. I don't necessarily want to do the candidates thing again, but we can do that too. Okay. And let's do this. And wow, we are really late. What? The space ended. Like while we're in it. What crap is that? It says play recording. We are not doing that. Let's do add spaces. June, July 10th. All right, let's go. All right. This new update, it's a little more stable as far as starting the space, but obviously maintaining the space is not any better at. Let's go ahead and invite some folks in. Oops. There we go. Put that normal view. It's open. Okay. Put this right here where I can see it at the corner of my eye. And we will load up the first story. Let's just reuse this tab. Copy link, paste it, go. Copy link, paste and go. Okay. And then we will pop this tab on out. Move it to a new window. and then move that new window on top of us streaming here. I can't move it. Click the window. Move and resize. Bring it to front. It's already at the front. I want you to move this one over to the other screen. Just like you did with the screen we're looking at. Well, that's very interesting. They moved the button as I was using it. I did not update it in between. So let's go here, shrink this down a little bit so it'll fit when we drag it. And then we'll drag it on over here. And we'll put it on this side so we can see the chat. And then we're going to go to share our screen. Eventually. Oh, we can't click on stuff now. We're going to click on something entirely different. Hopefully that whips it back into shape. And we'll share screen. Yep, it worked. We're going to share audio. We're going to share a screen. You're trying to call today? Yeah, you were trying to call today? How was it? Oh, we need to once again allow permissions because Mac thinks that I don't know what I clicked on. Share screen means, yes, people can see my screen. Oh, the humanity. It's already on, so why are you stopping me now? Just let me create. Stay out of my way. Tim out. All right, now we want to talk about Rivian. That's the first thing in the notebook is Rivian. Before that, though, let me get this on the screen. Don't kick my mouse. Share. She's kicking the mouse. Share. And it's over there. And then we will fix the layout because there's not 4 of us on here. I want this view. Clearly, I didn't have enough time this week to practice with the interface. The problem with the interface is I need to send it to a multi-streamer so that way we still show up everywhere. But I think that can be arranged. All right, so let's go back to, well, I guess before that, where do I want to go with this? So we had some trips yesterday, driving all over the the Mid-Atlantic, and the Mid-East. That would be quite a journey. And most of it was on FSD. Had some rain, which is fun. It still has the tendency to overdrive the wipers and then to just freak out. You do it. I can't see anything. And yeah, it's like, as I'm saying, I can't see anything. You better slow down. It's just like, I give up. But it's much quicker to recover now on this last update I got. I got another update. What are we on? Find another phone to check it with. We're on. Open up the Tesla app. Yeah. All right, spinning. Oh, you get referrals. Referrals is what they want to do right now. So after after participating in the last Tesla Life, I don't know if it was the Express or the main show. We were talking about batteries. You can figure it. We're talking about batteries, and I went ahead and watched the interview, and the expert was saying that the enthusiast like us, he was saying, okay, so 80% we're good, right? And the expert, he said, actually, I would go with 70 to 75%. So I lowered my charge level down from 80 to 75%, just because Model X is the Model X performance is not the Model X P100D, like a P70D right now, is it's not the most long range. So I wanted the extra 5 kilowatt hours. So I'm running version 12, 2025.26.4. And that one, I don't know if it's because of this one, but that's what we were running when I noticed this, is that mine definitely does respond to gates. We went into a gated neighborhood, and I think it probably would have done the right thing there if they had a normal arrangement, but they kind of have like a pull off to the sides so that guests don't block their main traffic, which is kind of cool. And then they also had a really nice gate control software that was it's like a touch screen, and you didn't have to sit there with like the telephone touchpad and the two-line display. Oh, those are terrible. And then this one also had like telephone, but what I would say, it had a bunch of cameras on it, so you could do like I don't know if they expected you to be able to video, or if you could just look and see who's coming in. Two-way would be really cool, but if it was just like a video doorbell feature, that would be phenomenal as well. Nice feature, well worth all the money they charge for an HOA fee. So not alone, but it would be a value add. So going in, it would not have helped because it wasn't just like most of these places that have a side pull off for guests then have a separate gate for the guests. This did not have that. It's you had to then circle back into the main gate. But coming out is the same. You just park over sensor and it does the thing. So I had it in full self drive, leaving the neighborhood, and it competently left the neighborhood, and then it saw the gate and it just stopped at the gate, just waited. Thankfully, the gate opened out and not in because it was a little close. I guess it would have stopped back further if there was like a stop bar, and you would need one of those if you had a door that opens inward, because eventually you would hit somebody's car. But anyway, it opened outward, and then the car waited until the gate not just opened enough, it waited until it opened all the way and stopped moving, and then went on out. It didn't do the thing that's necessary to prevent tailgaters. Tailgaters in the sense of not in the cars, but like in the sense of controlled access. Like if you're going into a secure room, you want to make sure the door shuts behind you and locks before you then go on to the next place. And there are some places I go where that is a requirement, and it's not all the time, but I go there sometimes where that's a requirement to make sure that the of course I would do that at my own home anyway. So anyway, to make sure that the gate had secured itself behind you, and it didn't care. It just zoomed on out, and then they had a guardhouse. I don't know if it was like never manned or if it was one of the ones where they'd upgraded and then they just left the guardhouse. But it paused at the guardhouse to see if it needed me to interact with the guard. It could see there was no gate, but it saw there was a guardhouse and it stopped. No, it didn't stop. It paused slow enough to see that it didn't need to stop, and then it kept going. And there was another one we went into where it stopped on the way in, which was cool. I tried to do the drive-through thing because they said that they, being Elon and an enthusiast, it said that that it will wait for the transaction to finish at a drive-through. And so we did a Taco Bell run, and it didn't like the way that the a lot of the Taco Bells, they are older and their drive-throughs are not well designed for these larger American automobiles of the day, and it was just freaking out that the lane was so narrow. It didn't really want to try to drive forward or wait on the transaction or anything like that. But I was thinking, well, I didn't actually do an order. I mean, I did stop and tell them who I was because I did it on the phone. And then I was thinking that, well, perhaps it could. Thank you. Maybe not mine, but at least the new ones could like watch these new screens, like the digital screens, or even the old school that we used to have, the LED matrix screens, and see and read. What's up? Well, you want some juice? Okay. Here. Open your mouth. Here. Cranberry juice. Watch away. No, you gotta get us all red. I don't have anything to blot it with. The paper towels on the side of the screen. Okay. I got a dirty paper towel. You okay? Ah, there you go. Try to drink it too fast. Alright, so anyway, like I said, I got a floor paper towel. None of our reusable towels. Especially nice to have reusable towels in case somebody throws up all the time. Brand new shirt. Anyway, I was thinking that, at least on the new cars, but there's nothing stopping mine from doing it, except I don't have version 13, that they could read the display and see that it changed to like a thank you. Like see you ordering. And of course, that also opens them up. So depending on what your settings are set to, it opens them up to. Wow, really? It opens them up to being able to do analytics on you. And maybe not you individually, but they could say, hey, customers that drive our cars like Baconators or Big Macs or whatever. I don't know. And I'm not saying they need to do that, but it's there. It's a possibility. And then for us, the benefit to us is it sees the thank you and then it moves forward in the line. I've noticed that some restaurants it prefers to go straight to the drive-thru, and others it tries to go park. And it's just kind of interesting the way that these predictive algorithms are starting to run. It is really weird. Like it knows places that I want to go that aren't on my schedule. I get it when it figures out my schedule because it's in the calendar. But when we just on a whim say, hey, we want to go grocery shopping, or we're going to go to the pharmacy, or let's go do something for the kids. Just not scheduled, not on any sort of pattern. It's like, yeah, you want to go here, don't you? Yeah. All right then. Get in the car. Like, oh, you're going to the home supply store, right? You need one of them big boxes. You get like a slide of lumber or something, right? Yeah. How do you know? And it's not like somebody on one of the newer cars can say, oh, well, you got the phone key running. Maybe it's listening to you. No, I don't have the phone key running because I have a legacy car. And it's just really good. Sometimes it's wrong. It's like, hey, you want to go here? Like, hey, no. Or, hey, you want to go to your dad's house or your mom's house? How did you know? Like, we didn't even talk in the car. And we're sufficiently far from them that it wouldn't just be done on a whim, but it figures it out. Do you want to go with mommy, or do you want to stay here and talk to our friends? You say that now. You were just complaining a second ago. Are you sure? Oh, she's gonna make milk for you. Okay. You want one milk? Yeah. So bring it. So, and that was unrelated to it being able to read screens. And then I don't know if it was a toll booth or drive-through, but anyway, Elon said it can tell when the transaction has been completed and then go. I've seen it do the right thing at tolls a bunch of times. I don't know if it was waiting for a transaction or not. In my case, it was usually I use the Easy Pass, so it sees the gate go up. And he's saying that you don't need to wait on the gate. I'm curious now. Some of them you have to stop for the Easy Pay and then go. It's just faster. I'm curious if it will stop. We'll see. It's been interesting to watch this thing for the last 10 years. To get closer and closer to what was promised. I don't know when we'll get to what was promised and how much will be there when we get there. But it's been fun to watch. And for those who remember, when we first got the thing, it would try and jump off bridges, which is hair-raising, to say the least. It hasn't done that in many years, but I'm still prepared for it to happen. So, like I said, it does try to overdrive the wipers and then freak out that it can't see. That happened a couple times last night because it was just some crazy downpours. And other times, like it is a lot less picky than it used to be about where and how we'll drive. But one new behavior that I've noticed on these latest updates, I don't know exactly which one it was introduced in. If you're driving on the road and the road is open and there's a significant amount of water on the road, there's no oncoming traffic, it'll dodge the water and ride on the middle, cross lanes, assuming that there's nobody there, rather than risk a hydroplane. And I was off put by it at first. I knew why it was doing it, and it did it a lot. So I was like, what is this? And then I went through a couple of the ones that it couldn't avoid because there was oncoming traffic, and the amount of water it threw up, even with my rain optimized all year snow tires. You could still feel, not a hydroplane, but you could feel that it was on the edge of wanting to. The amount of water it put up, both on itself and out into the rooster tails, was just substantial. And so I can't say I haven't done that myself when I was driving, not on any of these cars, but as a younger person, especially when I was trying to win the hypermiling challenges, that I would do that, and I don't blame it. It's a prudent move. Good evening, Anders. It's good to see you, and I am sorry for being late. We had all sorts of scheduling considerations. And yeah, we did, but you got what you needed, didn't you? I didn't even call you out. You're telling on yourself. You want milk? I know you want milk. That's why mommy's warming it up. Yeah. Oh, why are you so violent? Nobody in this family is. And you? Always slapping and yanking. Yeah, I cut my beard. Ha ha ha. You can't grab it. Ha ha. Yeah, try. Yeah. Ha. Tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, 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 tickle. Okay. So we're talking about the car. Talking about our rides yesterday, right? Oh, thank you. And it is I still leave it in hurry mode, and it still drives very aggressively, and I enjoy it. Not like aggressively towards the other drivers, but like it takes gaps I wouldn't think to try, and it was an experience yesterday amongst all the experiences. It's nice here to see you. It's Motoko. Hey, baby.
Hey, Daddy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's cold. Don't waste it. It's cold. She doesn't like cold milk. And reusable cloth. Because you use less water when you use soap and water than when you make fresh paper. You're wasting all of that milk because it's cold. You're not going to be able to cycle through to get warm milk. I promise you, it's all cold. And now you're mad? Mommy gave you cold milk? Well, you can have cereal. You want cereal? Or apples? Corn? Broccoli? You gonna drink that cold milk? She doesn't really like apples yet. The ones we have are kind of sour for her. Do you like bananas yet? Your sister loves bananas. Maybe. So where was I with the the self-driving machinery. Yeah, so all this is like a later version of 12, and obviously they're just messing with parameters because we haven't seen any FSD update in many months. But it's kind of cool. All right, so let's go on to what's on our screen here. While holding the bottle in one hand, what is on our screen is Rivian. So for Rivian, we've got Rivian expects tariffs to increase car production costs by a couple $1,000s per unit, on top of the couple $1,000s per unit that they just lost with the tax credit ending at the end of September. I cannot read that. The text is so small. Let's make it bigger. All right, so Rivian reported a mixed Q2 earnings results. The stock fell about 5% after trading hours on 4 days ago. RJ Scaringe said during the company's second quarter earnings call on Tuesday that the changes to the EV tax credits, regulatory credits, trade regulations, and tariffs are expected to have an impact on the results and the cash flow of our business, to say the least. Because their other business is, well, they've got two other businesses, big ones, is being VW's EV arm and selling electric bikes. All of those things are affected. The company increased its anticipated EBITDA losses, earnings before taxes, and blah, blah, blah. It's the I never remember. Taxes, depreciation, and interest? Is it interest? Anyway. Oh, there it is right there. Taxes, interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. There we go. To a range of $2 billion to $2.5 billion for 2025 fiscal year. That's up from the previous guidance of $1.7 billion to $1.9 billion for last quarter. That's no good. Rivian's chief financial officer provided a sobering picture of how the policy enforcement will have an impact on Rivian's business. The company expects to roughly break even for gross profit by the end of 2025. Total sales and regulatory credits, or credits that automakers receive in the U.S. to incentivize production, are expected to be around 160 million, nearly half of the prior outlook of 300 million. It's expected to go down more than that. They're talking that drill baby drill nonsense. Now, these credits have been very profitable in general to Tesla and Rivian. I imagine Lucid as well, if their volume is high enough to sell these things. They've been very low in the past for Tesla as well, under very similar looking administration. They were always sold as just bonus money, so them going away shouldn't affect everything, but it will. And they're not going totally away because you weren't even drinking it. You weren't even drinking. Yeah, they're not going entirely away because even with a very permissive enforcement apparatus, they don't like to be able to see the air and feel the air as you try to breathe it. So there will still be some regulations, probably pushing back towards the 90s or the 80s. Regressivism? I don't know. But also, it does take time to undo everything. But that's just in the U.S. So other countries still have regulations on their emissions, and it's too expensive to make a car just from one country. I memean, obviously, Rivian is doing it, but the other automakers, they can't afford with their business model to go back to just one country for their combustion machines. And the writing's on the wall. Look at Norway last quarter with 98, 99% electric sales. That's coming everywhere. No matter how you bury your head in the sand. Although they can certainly try. We saw what happened with mRNA vaccines. There's a chance that they are going to announce a cure for some types of cancers with them now. But marketing and politics have made the phrase mRNA vaccine kind of hard to fundraise on. Even if you say, hey, we're curing breast cancer, or we're curing testicular cancer, or leukemia with this drug, they'll hear oh no, sciencey, I can't have that. We can't invest in that. I'm not saying that there'll be zero money for it, because those would be some really stupid business people. But they can certainly make a dent, and they can certainly try. But yesterday, again, I saw them at a Camry. Didn't know it was a hybrid Camry because I've been keeping track. Until we were right behind it. It had a tiny little HEV badge on the trunk. Nothing on the fenders, nothing anywhere else to tell you this thing was a hybrid, except we were versed into the Toyota trim differences, which it's a combustion car. I don't care about the differences of the Camry. Not enough to memorize them. I'm not. I haven't sold Toyotas in 20 years now. How long has it been since I sold Toyotas? Long time. Yeah. You were done with it. Here you go. I'll just continue to hold this and not drink any of my drink. I'm a human piece of furniture. Yeah. You got it? Good, you got it. You hold that. I'll drink my drink. Don't drop it. I just said don't drop it. You gotta use both hands. Use one hand, it's gonna spin off to the side. Yeah. If you put your fingers in there with the nipple, it's gonna spill. That's what happens. Yeah. What? I'm not holding it right. It was straight in your mouth, right in the middle. Yeah. I gotta look at you when I do it. It's still cold. Yes, it is still cold. You didn't give it enough time to warm up, but it's just sitting there. Go to bounce. There you go. You can bounce. Yeah. Take a nap. So other countries still have their programs in place, and they still do the cap and trade system. So there will still be money for that for companies that are international. But as far as I can tell, that's not Rivian. They might have some stuff in Saudi Arabia. I know that Lucid does. I don't know that Rivian has left the U.S. yet. Not left as in like exited, but left as in like added other countries. Guess I can look it up. Still in the early stages. They have some in Canada, UK, and some commercial stuff abroad. That's it. So the most international you get Rivian so far, if you're not in North America or UK, would be through Volkswagen. Are you trying to throw this towel on the floor? She's trying to throw the towel on the floor. I got a cut on my arm. Why are you trying to throw the towel on the floor? What did the towel do to you? It's a clean towel. Yeah, why are you hitting me? You got it? Yeah? You excited about that towel, aren't you? It's not going on the floor. Are you trying? I've got my finger on like the edge of it, and she's stretching her arm way out over the floor. With persistence. I don't know that she sees it. I've got the corner of it in my finger. She's flapping. No, so anyway, I think the move away from some of the tailwinds that were previously in place for electric vehicles is actually good for Rivian. It's good for Tesla. It's bad for the U.S. economy. Yeah, it is. Bad for the U.S. auto industry. Yeah, bad for the economy too. It's bad for my kids, he said at the time. Is that RJ saying that, or is that Elon? Because you've now switched on. Yeah, I skipped a couple paragraphs. Yeah, Tesla's been doing that since before this year. That's right. Okay, so that's still RJ talking. Okay. I think RJ's a new dad, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or is that, is that somebody else? That's his build. Despite the near-term challenges, Rivian appears to be on track to deliver much anticipated R2 model. Yeah, I think that the R2 is still going to be a game changer for them. It just won't be. It's going to be a little harder to move because it'll cost $3,500 more, and depending on what the states do with their incentive programs and what the Canadian provinces do with what's left of theirs. But the beauty of that, that was the other part of it right there. The tariffs are going to change. I said this about Tesla's more affordable cars as well. The tariffs are going to change the calculus for how everything is laid out, because you were aiming for 30,000 after tax credit. Yeah, that goes away. Okay, sure, it's 37.5 now, but it's not just that. Now you've got not just tariffs, but they're up and down, and you got to pay them when you get the stuff out of the port. And I don't know if it's paid when it lands at the port, so or if it's paid when you just pick them up. If it's paid when you pick them up, then yeah, you could weather some of the tariff yo-yo by catching them when somebody's in a good mood. Somebody who shouldn't even have their fingers on the tariffs because it's not their job. That's neither here nor there. If it's when you pick them up, then that could make a difference. Not enough, but you would definitely see it on the balance sheet. Let's say that. And that matters more when you're making a Jeep car, not cheaply made, but inexpensive. It's more price sensitive to your inputs than a luxury Maybach or a G-Wagon. Okay, you're biting my finger now. Okay. Arr. Arr. Biting the finger. Arr. I made it a while before I got into politics. I still stay out of it, but I do still see that I'm not wanting to talk about them. But they have found me, and they have infiltrated my subjects. I don't talk to them all day long, but here is different. He said during the call that Rivian has secured contracts with suppliers that ensure the cost of making the R2 will be about half of the R1. Okay, so that's good. That's another thing you can do is you can do like futures, and you can do purchasing agreements and contract labor costs to make sure that that you can keep things mostly manageable. But things still have to be within the realm of possible for your suppliers. Like for instance, we've got tariffs on copper and steel have changed substantially. Ouch! Charlie bit my finger. Ow, Charlie, that hurt. That really hurt, Charlie. You done? Can I have my thumb back? Oh, no, you're not. It's one of her favorite videos on YouTube is Charlie bit my finger. Oh yeah? Mixed second quarter earnings. It wasn't really about the earnings. It was about the cost of the car going up. All right, so item number 2 in the notebook. Copy link. Link to what? No, copy the link. Not link to the paragraph. Paragraph is useless to us. All right, so on the other item in the notebook, I had this note, a really crummy article on my phone. But maybe Don Quixote is afraid of this. But nah, we know it's nothing to do with science, despite sciencey sounding excuses. Okay, so obviously it's going to be something about windmills because I called him Don Quixote. Switched on for the first time, the largest wind turbine ever seen, and it causes an unexpected effect. So I was suggesting that they are saying the unexpected effect is that because the turbine is so large, it affects the micro weather climate around the pylon and the blades. And I was trying to make a joke that Mr. I'm afraid of windmills, and they kill so many birds. They do kill birds, but not the way that he makes it out to be. Joking that maybe he thought it was climate change, and same way he thought that asylums were insane asylums and not requests to avoid bad situation back home. But it was funnier when I wrote it down. So what's going on here is that, as it says in the headline, the largest wind turbine ever is switched on. And I don't know if it was unexpected that it would affect the micro weather around it or not. That's neither here nor there. Like I said, it was kind of a crummy article. I think that engineering the 20 megawatt giant. I mean, 20 megawatts is huge, but is it the biggest we've seen, or is this the biggest we've seen deployed? I know we've heard of larger projects. Oh, you want that back then? Here you go. 2 hands. You're just playing with that. You're just playing with that. Can I put it back on the table? And put it back on the table. Boop. All right, so what? With that, let's just breeze through the headlines, see if there's anything interesting, and then I will, like I said, put some stuff in the notebook for next week as well. Let's go over to inside. Let's see if they can head on over to electric. I charged the 2026 BMW iX at this Iona rechargery. It was my best pit stop ever. So I saw on X this morning, somebody was talking about rechargeries and saying how they'd be more profitable and they'd be better than any of the best gas stations ever because they know that everybody's going to spend at least a few minutes there rather than the 8 minutes of people filling up their gas tanks, 10 to 15 if they're goofing off. I can get mine done in 3. Yeah, if you don't do a full fill, you stop at a truck stop and you only count the time that you're actually squeezing the handle. We've discussed this. I've got a video on it. Yes, baby, yes. How did you spill all that milk on me? I just put these pants on. I'm going to change them so I don't smell like cheese. Don't bite my headphones. This. What? What, baby? What? Okay. No. Are you dancing? Is that what that is? This is my show. It's your show now? Look at me. I'm the captain now. All right, so for Rivian and Elusive, the Valley of Death just got even steeper. We kind of discussed that just a second ago. The Link & Co. 900. That'd be interesting. Oh yeah. So the eateries, or the rechargeries, sorry, they were saying that they'd be a better deal, and I don't see why not. This guy bought a Chevy Bolt EV. Next, driving at 8,000 miles to the Arctic Ocean. That's a feature. In a Bolt, you don't need a Bolt. The charging stops are gonna be so long. The charging stops are gonna be so long. Yes, they will. Yeah. So our friend Raphael, Teslatino, and which one went with him? I'm sorry. Anyway, our friends went to the Arctic Circle in Cybertrucks, and they were laying out chargers with them everywhere they went. Telling mommy, there's mommy. See you soon. What about this? The cold milk that you're spitting on me? Because it was cold? Wow. Anyway, yeah, so they did that to Cybertrucks, and they were laying out chargers behind them as they went, and trailblazers. Can't wait for you to give me a ride in your Tesla. Houston woman turns on full self-driving, and she films a GRWM. This will be our DD. That sounds like a recipe for disaster. Once I figure out what GRWM means, let's open that in a new tab. Kyle and co over at Out of Spec, they got their generator for recharging. I haven't watched the video yet. It looked interesting. It's sitting in my queue. But when it popped up, I was in between a bunch of times other people were talking at me, so I needed to concentrate. Automatic front Tesla influencer juices his Model Y with 20 accessories and then shows the peek inside his cabin. Good for you. I've got a power trunk. I need to reconnect. Tesla disconnected it when they tried throwing away my lithium 12-volt battery. I say tried. They did throw it away. I made them fish it out of the trash. Make sure the space is still going. It is? Okay. It's like the car knows the spot time. The Tesla driver activates car wash mode, but what's the best way to actually wash it? So with car wash mode, it's kind of cool. They made a check to make sure the windows are up, not just to roll them up. And you'll have to pick roll or not roll, because if you're on a belt, you want to roll. And if you're not on a belt, you're washing it in the driveway, you don't want it to run you over. Comes with a 20-foot cord. Husband and wife decide to future-proof their home, then they install a span charger. This is a fine integration if you've got a span panel already. Makes sense. Oh well, chill mode. Always in chill mode. Model 3 performance driver thinks about racing a Dodge Hellcat, and then Grok spoke up. That's gonna be some weird TikTok. I can feel it, because Grok has almost no integration with the car, or even of itself. He had to pre-install everything. Man turned his retro Mercedes into an electric car. Here's the final product. That'll be fun to look at for me. I'll come back to it maybe. All of this just for a Waymo to drive better. Man says Tesla struggles when the sun is low, and he proves it. Model 3 and Model Y, yeah, it's been a thing for a while. Elon says it isn't, but it is. My Model X, unless the sun is coming straight in the cameras, I don't know what that extra 3 inches of height does to it, but it clearly makes a difference. Unless it just had that much more training data. Well, that doesn't make any sense either, because there's so many more Model Ys and Model 3s than S's and X's, so maybe they're just positioned better, I don't know. This one's promising Chinese EV is now rotting in Northern California. The Bison K-Byte could have been a heck of a rival to the Model S, but the brand failed to launch. I remember that. And then they disappeared. There are no bedtimes with the EV Stark Farge. No complaining HOAs either, really? Oh, because it's a electric dirt bike? Nice. Okay. General Motors and BMW still want China's EV batteries because there are not enough batteries, obviously. Not enough for everybody. One of Volkswagen's EVs is already facing the chopping block. If it's pre-Rivian, does it really matter? It's not their best work, no matter what it is. And is that here in the States or everywhere? Let's look at it. That'll be interesting. The new Chevy Bolt's EV batteries will come from China. Oh, that's going to ingratiate them to somebody. 2025 Mini Countryman SE is good, despite what the haters say. It's a niche product with a little branding price on it. Keep that in mind. The 26 Ioniq 9 is America's new road trip darling. Let's take a look, I guess. Is there a video? I don't want a video. We talked about that. EV chargers keep spreading across America, and these numbers prove it. Yeah, I had an opportunity yesterday to charge at a 325 kilowatt charger, and then the car said that it was 3 minutes in the wrong direction, so it sent me to a 250 instead. And it was driving, and it was raining, so I was like, some other day. Oh, this one's right here. The Dojo supercomputer for FSD is dead. Let's talk about that one. Military is buying Cybertrucks to shoot them. Air Force wants to test how missile-resistant Cybertrucks actually are. Missile-resistant. They didn't advertise them as missile-resistant. They advertised them as resistant to small arms fire. That's a missile. I don't mean like an egg is a missile, but I mean like a guided missile. Like modern arms. Honda electric cars are not the goal. Oh, come on. Do I need to write you a letter too? GM's smaller electric van will be a Hyundai. Yep, we talked about this Hyundai and Kia. I do like the bright drop though. Tesla has millions of contractors. I can see that. I charge my EV6 using a Tesla adapter. Here's what you can expect. Well, for you, I would expect it to be slow unless your car has the new up converter. Just saying. ZF's new EV software tunes your car like a video game. That's kind of interesting. I was about to say, is it the same ZF that makes the components? And yes, it is. The German company says its automakers can create a brand DNA with just a few clicks. While General Motors and Hyundai building EVs together just makes sense. Synergies. Peanut butter and chocolate. Let's see here. We've got Forget the Lightning. Ford's new EV pickup may resurrect a cult classic. Ranchero. All right. Man films himself watching Law and Order SVU while eating Chipotle during Tesla road trip. How safe is this really? Well, it's not. And I'm going to click on this one just for the comments. The Honda Insight looks. This Honda Insight looks pristine. So why did it end up in a junkyard? And where does it go from here? I'm going to say it could be one of the hydrogen ones, or it could be a good-looking EV one that got in a flood. Stupid headline for clicks. I'll click it. And Amazon's Zoox taxi is clear to operate without a steering wheel or pedals. Federal regulators issued the exemption for the pod-like EVs that don't have any traditional controls. Congratulations to them. Let's see where they deploy. Anyway, let's move on to the first one that I pulled out. Share this tab instead. Can't wait for you to give me a ride in your Tessie. What is... Oh, we'll go back. I didn't click on any of that junk. I was trying to figure out what the heck that term meant. What? Oh, it's a get ready with me video. So it's a makeup and eat breakfast and all that. So she films that while... No. It is better than what they used to do, where she did it with no cruise control, no nothing, but it's not self-driving. I guess she could argue she's supervising, but she's clearly distracted. No. In 2025, even makeup tutorials are going autonomous. No. All right, are there comments on this one? I want to see the comments. I don't want to sign up. I want to see the comments. There we go, 3. If she gets into a crash, sue her and her TikTok for millions. I'm sure TikTok has got themselves the appropriate fire breaks. Seems like a self-solving problem. Unfortunately, she'll take innocent bystanders with her. Hopefully the car won't crash. The problem is, it can still crash. This could be the week they bring back the attempts to jump off the freeway. Hopefully they don't ever go back there, but... Now, police have been known to track reckless drivers down from posted videos showing insane speeds and ticket or arrest them. In most states, this would likely be considered distracted driving. It'd be nice to see her face consequences for putting the public at risk. I don't know how I feel about any of that. Okay, so Motor 1 says, on the chopping block, who and where and why. ID5 will be dropped from the lineup in early 27. 27, that's just basically not renewing. That's not chopping block. They made it seem like they were going to end it this year or something. A nothing burger. The new Chevy Bolt's EV batteries will come from China. GM will import LFP batteries for the upcoming 727 Bolt. That's despite the tariffs and the fact that the company is bringing LFP battery production to the U.S. The American automaker will eventually fit U.S.-made batteries into the Bolt, but not at first. These supply chains, they don't move on a dime. They've probably already planned out this way, and then people shook stuff up on them. Hey, I like that NAC sport there. Look at that. Bolt with the NACs. Boom, baby. For several years, automakers depended on foreign suppliers for LFP. I mean, we just have not optimized for LFP in this country. And China did. Without our patents expire, they made their own because they made it better. I mean, we could have made it better if we kept with it, but we went on to other things. That's what we get. Let's see. Why the new 26 Hyundai Ioniq 9? It's America's new road trip, darling. I guess range. There's a lot more curvy of a roof than it looks like on the road. It's smaller than I thought. I thought it was closer in size to what I've got. But seeing how it looks next to that Rogue and Sienna, it's bigger than the 5 and the 6. It's not full size SUV size. It's a pretty car, for its design style anyway. Charge port doors on the correct side. Look at that. No, it's not. It's not on the correct side. I glanced down, up, around, looked at the. I don't know what I was looking at. I saw it in reverse, clearly. Range and charging speed are the reasons why. All right, so this one was a discussion I wanted to get into. The Dojo supercomputer is gone. The head of that project has left the company. Elon is quoted saying why we can't put the resources into two completely different architectures. It made sense to do it for a while, side by side, so they can try it, see if it works. And clearly, the next step of NVIDIA was good enough, and then the next step of NVIDIA is anticipated to be good enough more that they decided not to invest in the project anymore. And he's like, "Oh well, we have this other like Dojo Lite or whatever." Dojo, the architecture may be gone, but the idea of what they're going to use it for is still there. So as far as training on real world data and then training on simulations that were simulated from good data. I mean, if you're training on synthetic data, but it's still missing stuff, then you're not really training on everything it's going to see in the real world. And Jensen gave him credit for that. They pulled the plug on Dojo to make FSD better. The way that works is somebody who could code to both systems is now not on the other project that they're not going to use. The data center used multiple custom-built chips known as D1 to train artificial intelligence for driving assistance systems and Optimus humanoid robot. So there are a couple things that kind of pointed out that this was going to happen. Check the batteries in this place. Oh, the sun is out real quick. 94.75%. Let's switch on over battery then. Okay, so you don't have a split resource, and you can add more programmers to the one you're actually going to use. And what was telling us that was going to happen was that They only ever had like a small corner of like one area that was on dojos, and they weren't making it bigger. Unless it was that much better than the commercial stuff, that kind of told you they weren't really investing in it. Supercomputer was estimated to add 500 billion to Tesla's value. Well, now it doesn't. Come on, mouse back. They had what, the 18 dojo cabinets they showed us in the video? So, and then there never was any information that more was happening. Slowly moving away from in-house development for AI solutions, instead taking the deals with third parties like NVIDIA, AMD, and Samsung. It also sounded like he was going to want to rack up AI 5 and 6 computers in the data center rather than just try to do the distributed computing that they were talking about with our cars doing it. Highlander says, good morning. I went to 2 free concerts last night. So, yep. One was jazz in East Toledo, and the other 70s rock in Oregon, Ohio. Nice. All right, let's see here. Come on over to the article. As part of the dojo supercomputer shut down, Peter Bannon, who was the team leader, will leave the company. Meanwhile, other team members will be reassigned to other data centers and compute projects at Tesla. Which makes sense. Because it was specialized hardware and everything, but the skills they had were still applicable to other Tesla AI projects on the hardware, software, and so forth. Cortex. It's what the hopes are right on. So Cortex is the Tesla data center on the NVIDIA chips, and it's clearly doing just fine. I can't wait till we get another release of FSD 12 and 13, or maybe move us all to 14. It's gonna be a while before we get the chips in the legacy cars, but they're still capable of doing more. Hopefully they haven't stopped trying to squeeze more into it now that they know that they're gone. Musk hinted that the company could drop the Dojo supercomputer and instead work more closely with external partners. Thinking about Dojo 3 and the AI 6 inference chip, it seems like intuitively we want to try and find convergence there, where there's basically the same chip. Musk said last month, and if you've got them in a data center versus waiting for customers to stop driving around and park long enough on a charger, if you can array your computers that are actually in the car, let's think more like the computer in the car than another computer in the car, right? So it's not a bad idea if they can get what they need done by doing that. I don't understand shutting down the data center. Well, I don't think they're going to shut it down. I think they're just going to rip the dojo out, scrap it, and then put more of the NVIDIA chips in there. All right, I'll catch you over here on X. Basically the same chip. Despite killing the dojo, which lived in New York, Tesla's not abandoning its AI-powered ambitions. Yeah. A bigger and better supercomputer dubbed Cortex has entered the construction phase last year in Austin, powered by over 100,000 NVIDIA H100 and H200 chips. H100 and H150s, with the 200s on the way. Another data center is live in Memphis. Is the Memphis one a Tesla data center, or is the Memphis one a Is the Memphis one a XAI data center? I thought it was X. Well, the data center's main job is to analyze video from Tesla's EVs driving around the world, except China. There's also a hardware component to the company's autonomous driving efforts. To up the ante here, Tesla struck a $16.5 billion deal with Samsung to secure AI semiconductors. Yeah, but we talked about this last week and several years ago when it was first announced, but we're only speculating that it was Samsung. Current generation of vehicle hardware chips, AI4 or hardware 4, is also made by Samsung. Yes, fabbed by Samsung. It was taped out by Tesla. There's no news about Doja for a few months, so really nothing surprising. Wasn't Doja one of the key elements Tesla alleged moot in AI? Maybe? Oh, Highlander's in the room, but keeps switching between speaker and listener. All right, there we go. Get a microphone on him. All right. Let's see. Oh, this guy's pointing out the flip-flopping on the messaging. Dojo is a tool, not the target, and if you change your laptop, that doesn't mean you have to start your career over from the beginning. Or suddenly you're an inexperienced new hire. Oh, that would suck. Because even if you didn't change the laptop out, something might happen to it. Chips are chips and more efficient and faster than Dojo. Sorry, current chips are more efficient and faster than Dojo. So they gained the NVIDIA chips, and the gap has only widened since Dojo's time. While other auto companies have a cluster of H100 chips, or which other auto companies have a cluster of H100 chips? Well, we saw Jensen say that Toyota does. Who else? I'd have to go back and watch his video again. But the competition is out there. Are they as prepared? Doesn't look like it. So they are just getting started when the tools came out versus having been in it for a few years. Wow, that's a fast backup. This computer decided to back up and it's like screaming. I finally shut down that commercial server of mine, and I'm working on my resurrected data center server. And there were some growing pains. There were some settings in my setup that I didn't realize were set. And, like one of them was the network for Wi-Fi was set that it wasn't ever allowed to talk back to anything else. And so even when I put the equipment it needed to talk straight out without talking back to the rest of the network on it, it still couldn't talk out. And, the setting, I was like, oh. I'm guessing I must have reused an IoT network, turned it into Wi-Fi network. I don't know. It was an oversight. There's 2 minutes remaining, not bad. It's already like since I mentioned it, it's already copied over a gigabyte. I'm sorry, not gigabyte. Yeah, gigabyte. And this is Apple, not a normal backup. Apple doesn't do it at all efficient to this type of system. So interesting. You forgot to mention that it's probably shut down because Musk drove the talent away to other companies. See The Verge. I'll have to look at that Verge article. If he is like I keep describing him as, Steve Jobs. Oh no, I forgot my paper back on the desk. I'm not riding the elevator with you. Or I'd also describe Jobs as like the boogeyman to come out and scare the tar out of the engineers. Go ahead, Islander. Get your hand up. Am I on delay again? I might be on delay again. That if he's talking on mute. Well, whenever the message gets to you, just let me know, and we'll see why your hand's up. Curious. This person said giggle. That's not a very productive comment. Yeah, we saw that one. We saw that one too. What you got, Highlander? Am I not
It sent me co-host, but it wouldn't let me have it, so I left the room and came back as I don't know. Send it to me again, and maybe it'll take this time.
Maybe I updated my app. Okay, and then let's see what's the next one we pulled out. The military wants to requisition Tesla Cybertruck to use for testing, not for some off-road readiness tests.
X is being twitchy again.
It sounds like them.
I could say send me co-host and I'll accept.
Yeah, I sent it. I'll send it again. Oh, it only offers cancel, so it knows it sent it. Let's see. So yeah, the 400 million Cybertruck purchase that we were talking about before the election, or before the inauguration. I don't know. It was earlier this year. It was still cold out. We were talking 400 million on the Cybertruck. Is this a different one I'm seeing? I'm going to open this and watch it later myself. Target practice. Seems like a... Curious how they're justifying this. And are they going to go with the rear-wheel drive? Or are they going to go with dual motors? Or what? According to the request by the military, they believe foreign adversaries may transition to Tesla Cybertrucks because of their ability to withstand damage more substantially than the average Toyota Tacoma or Ford F-150. And they'll also be cheaper to fuel than the T100 that... not the T100 they're using. What are they using? All the warlords driving. I think it's Hilux. Yeah, it's definitely the Hilux. So it definitely uses more less fuel than the Hilux. All right, so there we go. Non-zero chance that America's enemies could soon be driving tactical Cybertruck. The military wants to be prepared. All right then. 13 February. Market research was conducted to assess the competition for the Tesla Cybertruck by evaluating its design, materials, impact resistance, and innovative technologies. The study revealed that Cybertruck's aggressively angular and futuristic design, paired with its unpainted stainless steel exoskeleton, sets it apart from competitors typically using painted steel or aluminum bodies. Justification document explains, additionally, its 48-volt electrical architecture provides superior power and efficiency, a feature that rivals are only beginning to develop. Extensive internet searches and industry research by Redacted found no vehicles with features comparable to those of Cybertruck. Yeah, that's why I feel a certain way that it feels like a fat Model Y instead of a awesome enhancement on my Model X. More importantly, Redacted intends to use this specific Tesla manufactured vehicles for target vehicle training events in the operating theater is likely the type of vehicles used by enemy may transition. It's the weirdest constructed sentence I've seen. Transition to Tesla Cybertrucks. Oh, okay, so they're saying that, yes, it was written that way. That's one of our people for sure. Cybertrucks, as they have been found not to receive the normal extent of damage upon the major impact it adds. The testing needs to mirror real-world situations. The intent of the training is to prep the units for operations by simulating scenarios as closely as possible to the real-world situations. So whoever wrote that obviously is not a writer and also didn't have an editor. Go ahead, Highlander. You got your hand up? Maybe it was up from before. So you didn't need too many of them to shoot at them and see what they do. And that's not a bad idea if you expect this thing to sell worldwide as the new Hilux.
I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed last weekend's discussion on microplastics in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
It's very near and dear to me. I thought it was a well thought out discussion.
Thank you.
I hope you can hear me. I don't even know if you can hear me.
I hear you. Sounds like they got me on delay again, though. You'd think that with the update that they would address some of those issues, but I guess maybe they were getting other bugs or just adding more features. Influencers were shooting their vehicles, yes. And then
I'm going to leave, shut down my phone, and come back.
Okay. Yes, we remember this guy here from Chechnya, who, we got 2 islanders now, who was thanking Elon Musk and all that, and he may make some bad moves, but he wouldn't make that particular move. Air Force also doesn't care if the trucks are running and driving, because that's what I was about to say, is like, you can pay full price for these, but getting used ones would make sense too. The requisitions just notes that they need to roll when towed behind another vehicle, so long as it's got 4 wheels, it's a potential target. It's good news for all those trucks that were down, I suppose. Ouch. At the end of the day, it's probably not the craziest thing on paper to test. Electric vehicles in the battlefield are definitely underexplored, while a big old battery isn't likely to change just how explosive a missile is. It's probably wise for the government to understand how something like shiny cold-rolled steel could affect its weaponry. After all, Tesla did want to disrupt transportation, maybe just not this way. I'm curious if any of the angles make it harder to detect, because it does look like the love child of an F-116. So I'm trying to make it a little farther. That's interesting. How do you think it drives? Was it comfortable for you? I wonder if he's pointing out this person probably hasn't driven one. Musk will surely donate thousands of unsold Cybertrucks, trusting in there aren't that many. It's a strange vehicle. It makes sense that they want to test a weapon system on it. I believe they tested some Ford trucks when they went aluminum. Yes, they did. This is 5. I see 4. Let's see what that last comment is. Thoroughly useful sets of comments. All right, so now let's do. This wasn't on the menu, but it's in the way, so let's take a look. When did they say this? Undated so far. July 29th. Okay. Tesla's eyeing making a smaller, more utilitarian electric pickup to fill the empty midsize EV truck void. There's only so much time to do it. Might as well jump in now. And then, of course, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not getting into any of those speculative specs. Honda explains why electric cars are not the goal. It's not even a Honda. That's a hydrogen Toyota. Let's see. I guess it could be a Honda. It looks like the Toyota to me, though. No, it's the Honda CR-V FCV. Okay. If it were an existing car, yeah, it would have been the Highlander one. As trillion yen. Honda still stands by its goal to achieve carbon neutrality. You're not going to do it with hydrogen, buddy. Speaking of Australia's Drive magazine, the head of the company's local arm suggested that EVs aren't the only. What's up with Australia and like embarrassing these companies? Get your spokespeople in check. EVs are not the goal, battery electric vehicles are a pathway to achieving. Okay, so yeah, when you break down what he actually said, like he chose some poor words, but the point is they want zero emissions. They don't really care how they get there. But those of us that pay the fueling bills, we sure do care how they do it. Clarity came and gone. Honda has not abandoned hydrogen. Yeah, none of them have. They're all still, I'm going to say, wasting money because R&D is a lot different than selling these things to customers. I'm done with that article already. All right. Man films himself watching Law and Order SVU while eating Chipotle, driving on a Tesla road trip. How safe is this really?
Let's not pick on Australia. I got way too many family cousins down there.
Oh, I was just talking about how the Australian spokespeople for these Japanese brands really stick their feet in it when it comes to EVs. You got that one from Toyota, and I got this one from Honda. His wasn't as bad as the one from Toyota, though. Some people eat Chipotle in the parking lot, others wait till they get home. A popular TikTok clip creator is set up a full tray table in mid-drive and threw Law and Order for an ambiance. All right, so I do use, not this tray table, but I do use my car tray when in park. I definitely don't use the phone to watch videos while I'm driving. Would I fault him for having no hands on the wheel and eating at Chipotle? Probably not. Is it the best move? Also probably not. But the tray table says not to use it in motion, so there's one. The video in motion is two, and the not paying attention to the road is zero. Priority one. Let's see. The clip shows him chowing down on a combo meal and cruising down the expressway, completely at ease as Tesla self-driving technology safe and on time. Did I mention I just used it in a rainstorm yesterday? It was mostly competent, but it was also really quick to hand back controls. And it does beep and stuff, but if it's beeping and you got your phone in the middle and you got your car tray on, not your car tray, you got your steering wheel tray on, generic, then yeah, no, it's not gonna. Go ahead, Islander. Spoiler, don't do this, it's dangerous. Yeah. Despite the name, Tesla FSD, supervised. It's classified as SAE level 2. Yeah. Drivers must remain alert, keep hands on the wheel. I don't know that you have to keep your hands on the wheel on a Model 3 and Y, but they have to be ready to take over at any moment.
Well, now that Australia has lost their entire automotive manufacturing,
Yeah.
they're pretty much like Great Britain, kind of unbiased. And it's become a real battleground down in Australia because I don't think you can hear me, Casey.
I hear you.
You're definitely talking over me. I don't think you can hear me at all.
Oh, well, Australia as a battleground was an interesting topic. I don't know why they got us on such a delay. I'm on cellular. Let me check something here. How's that? Is that any less delayed? I guess it will still take you a minute to catch up to what I'm
A
saying.
delay would explain it.
Yeah.
You said you can hear me. What I wanted to say about Australia is now that they no longer have any automotive manufacturing in Australia, they're wide open. And the Chinese are blowing the doors off of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever makes the best product, the lowest price wins. And that's the Chinese.
So far it is. I did watch that hour and a half of the ADAS tests, and they're just like us as far as they've got some competent ones, and they've got some that look like they would be able to do it. They've got all the sensors, and they cost so much.
I've got 5 bars on 5G, so it's not on my end.
It's probably either on me or on X. Let me do this. Let me pull it to this other phone, and then bring it back to the one that's got the Bluetooth connection. Reconnect. Go to app. I don't want to archive it. I want to give it the permissions it needs to use the microphone. There. Okay. Back. I did enable microphone permissions. Right there, microphone. Reconnect. Ah, there we go. All right, so now I'm muted. I'm going to end this one. Then I'm going to go back here. Open up X again. Unmute. And is that any better? It didn't even actually connect on the other phone, so that was risky what I did to it. Oh, they want me to rate my charging session. I will rate the charging session pretty well. It's at a new to me supercharger. Supercharger was great.
I can't make myself a co-host, dude.
Let me re-invite you. And send. And it was clean. Easy use. That was fast. Submit.
Okay, it says I'm co-host.
There we go.
I'm changing the title as I always do to family friendly.
Okay. I don't know what's up with the connection today. But whatever's going to be, right? So, Consumer Reports assessment labeled Tesla's torque sensor insufficient, arguing it fails to detect true attentiveness. But it doesn't matter because now they're on the camera-based system, so why are we digging up old grievances? Crash history and legal fallout? I mean, let's see what they go on to with the crashes. Recall for 2 million vehicles to implement enhanced driver alerts and tighter controls on auto steer usage. All right, so are you doing this on purpose, my dear writer? You know that this recall is a software update with recall status. That line shouldn't even be in there.
When it comes to clickbait, they'll do anything.
But he's like already deep in the article. The people who are interested in clickbait, they've already long since clicked off. This one from Florida might be something. A Florida jury ruled Tesla liable for 2019 fatal crash involving autopilot system awarding $243 million in damages. It was the first time Tesla has been held accountable by a jury in an autopilot incident. I mean, that one you could put in there if you're trying to bend the public into your fear or loathing of FSD and autopilot. It's not the same system, and you can't really, not because it's better, but you can't really point at that and say that that means that autopilot was not safe because the driver wasn't using it correctly and killed themselves, and then a jury awarded them money. That doesn't prove your point either, but it's at least more in the wheelhouse than, or in the same playing field than the fact that they had a software update that had a recall status on it. Analysts warned that a recent verdict may delay Tesla robotaxi ambitions and have regulatory repercussions for FSD rollout. Right, I'll have to look and see what the recent verdict means. Depending on the state and specific behavior observed, a police officer could issue a citation for distracted driving. Yeah, just like we saw in the makeup lady. They said that they could go back to the video and make a mess. Go ahead, highlight it. Are you there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Over a 25-second delay on the audio. That's X has got to get their stuff together. Wow. Watching a video while driving, especially on a screen mounted within the driver's view, can run afoul of these laws. Does run afoul of all these laws. Even if the vehicle appears to be managing the road, an officer observing a driver eating and streaming TV, ignoring the surroundings, could lawfully intervene. Yes, same as if they were sleeping and the car was doing stuff. Like, this is unacceptable, and whoever's making the video for them is just as at fault. So I look down to pick up my drink, turn the radio, get a strikeout. This guy bringing Netflix and eating a 12-course meal is fine. This is fine in the other room full of flames. All jokes aside, while this is problematic, the car does ensure that your eyes are on the road, yes. Yeah, I found that if I looked down at the steering wheel for too long trying to find the horn button, it was beeping at me, so there may be other trickery involved in this video. It's not torque-based, because there's no torque from the steering wheel tray, which will dump if he goes in a curve. Well, there goes the food and the drink on the floor, on your lap. At this point, it's a problem whether it's Hyundai with lane keep assist, highway drive assist, Cadillac Super Cruise, or Pro Assist 2.1. The car will continue to engage lane following an adaptive cruise on a straight highway. As long as lines are. The bigger issue is how do you solve for activity in the car? People eat, put on makeup. The way is obviously the same way that Tesla's pushing towards, is to just make it so that the driver doesn't need to be involved at all if they don't want to actively drive. Not there yet, though. So until it gets there, you got to do it. Suspend the driver's license. Absolutely. I'm an experienced Tesla road tripper, and I've used the Tesla ADAS without FSD, and this guy scares me. I don't want to share the road with this guy. Like you, these types of drivers frighten me, and it's not just the Tesla problem. It's not all just the Tesla problem. Tesla gets the headlines, and that's why you see them written about. the driver's only there for legal reasons, meaning that Tesla will spend as much as necessary on lawyers and stock profits to avoid any responsibility or liability, no matter what the executives say on Twitter or TV about how Teslas drive themselves. Customers the ultimate fall guy. Well, the ones that are road taxiing and the ones that are in the videos are not the same. I mean, they could be the same software release, but they're not the same version as what we have in the car. If you remember Elon mode and God mode and all these other things that we cannot switch the car into, that is not an excuse. They do it in commercials, so I'm going to do it. Like Law and Order SUV, am I right? Am I logged in? If I'm logged in, I'll give him that. Yeah, I am logged in. Okay, I'll give him that one.
This is a 6-year-old legal case.
Yeah?
This is the 6-year-old legal case, and we're still talking about it.
The guy with the lunch, or the one that they used as a as the recent could cause problems. I mean, if he did this 6 years ago, TikTok should have pulled this down. It should not still be up there. It's irresponsible for them to leave something like this up there. As far as the one they linked to as the legal case, Black Eye, Musk taxi ambitions. This was updated August 5th. San Francisco. I think this might be the one you're talking about. I need to clean this glass. It's full of baby milk spit. I hope you guys aren't seeing it. Yeah, you're right. Follows years of highway recalls and collisions, blah, blah, blah. FSD. Oh, you're talking about the one with the family. Yeah, that one is ancient as well. Not as old as my crash that hasn't been taken care of yet. My crash was human pilot versus autopilot, not autopilot. I mean, how do you repeatedly hit somebody driving in a straight line at a consistent speed with your semi truck? Boom, boom, boom. Can't wait till I can talk more about that. That was something else. Let me zoom this in too. There we go. Am I getting old? Or is this, like I said, screen's dirty, glasses dirty too? I'm getting old too. I just had my eye exam and it was good, so I'll have to get new glasses next year though. I don't like these glasses. They're way too, like this is, I've been wearing glasses for decades now, and these are the easiest to get dirty, hardest to get clean. They're heavier than I expected. They look all right, but I'm wondering if they skipped one of the coatings or one of the steps that I've had on all of my previous ones for the last at least 5 years, and maybe that's why they suck so bad. I don't know. Anyway, continuing on. Success in self-driving. FSD's automated advanced autopilot. Yep, you're right. You're right. This one's from 2019. So this one was the year after my crash. So 6 years ago. You're right, Highlander. And it does not have direct implications because, well, one, it was a damages award. It wasn't an admission that they did anything wrong. And they've already complied with anything that they could have done wrong as far as labeling and that sort of thing. Regulatory road ahead. Florida did not respond. Hey, Florida. The jury found that Tesla's autopilot had a defect and held the company partially responsible, despite the driver admitting fault. even more weird. It's going to take time to get regulators to move forward. Okay, so yeah, I don't think this is really in support of what the guy was trying to say in the other article either. All right, let's find out why they're tossing this Insight. Junkyard owner showed off the 19 Insight that ended up in his lot despite looking pristine. Auto Parts City posted footage of the car in a viral TikTok, of course. As he explores the vehicle's problem further, he notes that despite the otherwise pleasant curb appeal, all is not well under the hood. According to Honda Sedan, get-go comments on the car's aesthetics. If you saw this sitting in your driveway, how many of you think it's a Honda Civic? But it's not a Civic, it's an Insight. Oh, because it looks so much like, yeah. Social media asked the clip transitions a shot of the stationary vehicle from a different angle, and yep, it's not. Profile rides longer, shows off the ride's longer wheelbase, suggesting it may actually be another popular vehicle from the Japanese. Yeah. Not the Accord either. How many of you think it's the Honda Accord? So sure that'd be full because it's 19 Insight. High mileage Honda Insight. Oh, high miles. Really? So this tells me it's probably the plug-in hybrid because to have the EV only one with high miles would mean that they lived on the fast charger because it didn't have the range. This thing is the Honda version of a Toyota Prius. Well, actually, the Insight came first. The Insight came first in the States, and it was completely different than the Prius. It was made for the highway. Prius was made for around town. The package was delivered. There was a package delivered. Babies out there playing with toys. All in the comments. Hybrid battery woes. Okay, yep, that got my Civic twice. I got 2 new batteries in it. $5,000 fix. You know how much Tesla battery you can get for $5,000? Gracious. Hybrid battery's bad. Just junk it. Not necessarily, but at $5,000, I would not sink $5,000 in for a hybrid battery. No.
I sent out the invites.
All right. Parts may be the highest value from a high mileage vehicle unless one can document previous work on suspension, steering rack, ICE, and transaxle. AC, Honda makes decent cars with 400,000 mile lifespan is unlikely to the durability target.
Enough to build a home power wall.
Right? That is true. Like for just a little bit more, you get a used power wall. It's clearly worth buying, trying the fuse to fix it since that may well take care of it. Yeah. Same as not Prius because there's a whole cottage industry around replacing and upgrading Prius batteries. Not so much for the Insight. Yeah, because it didn't reach that level of popularity. All right, let's go to Fred's site. See what he's complaining about, see what's news, and keep on rolling. BYD is coming up with a ridiculous 3,000 horsepower electric supercar. What's the Navara? What is the Navara horsepower? I spelled it wrong. The Rimac Navara is only 2107 horsepower only, with 1741 foot-pounds of torque for the Navara R. For the Navara regular, it's got the same foot-pounds of torque.
Navara is the street I live on.
Oh, really?
In Oregon.
Cool. That's cool. So the Navara base model, if you could call it that, at millions of dollars per copy, is 1914 horsepower. Still pretty darn sharp. So BYD is claiming 3,000 horsepower. I'm curious how they pulled that off. Let's expand it since it's the first article on top of the page. BYD already shocked the world when it launched the Yangwang U9, its first all-electric supercar. I think I saw pictures of that one. It was pretty cool looking. What was that? Oh, it was a date. I gotta look at the Wi-Fi again. The alarm system was on cellular for some reason. The same reason my phone was on cellular. Probably one of the access points need to restart. So restart them all. Okay, so I was going to suggest it probably had in-wheel motors, or at least one motor per wheel inboard, like the Rivian original quad motor. I'm guessing the new one does it the same way as well, but I didn't look into it further when the quad motor came back. It's like, yeah, they've done it before. So now they've done it themselves instead of contract, so it wasn't interesting enough to me to go look and see how they did it. I'm sorry. If it was interesting enough to you all to tell me to go look at it, then yeah, I'd look at it. But if it doesn't interest me, I mean, like just enough to know they've got it back was good enough. So if you guys aren't interested in me doing the research, and it doesn't grab my attention for me to do the research, then I'm not going to do it. So either in-wheel or inboard quad motor. That would be probably the only way they could get it done. I'll put like a ship engine in there. Saw something look like a transformer. Was that guy on the scooter? Yep. King Bull Jumper Go, high-speed e-bike built for any terrain. There you go, Highlander. It looks like it's a folder, but obviously you'll have to, put yourself a speed limiter on there if it's as fast as they make it sound. Class 3 motor capable of hitting high speeds when you're commuting through the city. On paper, it has all the hardware you'd want. 750 watt Bang Fang rear hub motor. Top speed of 28 miles per hour with pedal assist up to 40. So 28 in Robert's neck of the woods, you would need to put a tamp on it. And off-road, you could do 40. 48 volt, 220 amp hour battery. All right. How many kilowatt hours is that? So the voltage. All right, so 48 volts at 20 amp hours is 1 kilowatt hour. Doesn't sound right. 960 watt hours. 48 by 20 divided by 1,000. 48 by 20. Yeah, it is. So almost a kilowatt hour, but it's a bicycle, not a motorcycle, so it doesn't need to be as energy dense as a motorcycle. I just get so your amp hours aren't comparable to each other, and they talk about it as if they are. Oh, it was 9,000 amp hours at what, 6 volts? Actually, I think that the amp hours goes. Depends on how you construct the pack too. Anyway, Shangmo 8-speed drivetrain. Okay. Tektro hydraulic disc brakes. 80mm front fork and rear mid-frame air shock. Okay. So maybe it's an air shock and not a folding apparatus. Frame step through aluminum frame with internal cable routing. Okay. No, it's not a folder. I'm sorry. It looked like one though. Together, these features make the King Bull Jumper Go a rare all-in-one package. Did they say the price? I kind of want one now. Only $8,000. I don't know. Let's see. We've had one for 2 weeks now. Been a daily driver. Let's set up. Right. It still looks like a folder, but it might just because it's a step-through design. Big bowl speedometer. I like that. Pricing and availability. There we go. Oh, that's not bad. Only $16.99. King Bull's website, which is under $16.99. They have limited time summer promotion with $100 off. Code Electric, bringing the price down to $15.99. The discount makes it one of the best values on the market for a full suspension Class 3 fat tire e-bike. King Bull's 2-year warranty also backs it and offers a local test ride and a value in California, giving potential buyers added peace of mind and confidence in the brand. All right. We got Dr. X1 in the house. Hello. All right, we've got body 30 mile.
X is very twitchy today.
Yeah, it is. Oh, she left. Bought a 30 mile per hour electric jet boat from China. Here's what showed up. I'm curious what showed up. Let's take a look at the picture. It does look like what was in the picture. Is it big enough for him to do that? Let's take a look at these pictures. From the vertical pictures, they all look like a kid's toy. Click out, click back in. I just can't zoom in. It says you're not allowed to zoom in. Oh well. I mean, it looks cute. Wow. Okay, so no, it does look like a older man. The crate is substantially larger than he is. It fits in the back of his mini truck. Oh, he's the guy buying stuff in crates from China. I like this. I like this guy's articles. Wow. All right, so I took it out. I guess that's his dad's lake because he keeps the truck on his dad's farm. Looks like you make a whole nother boat out of the crate. Solar panels on whatever boat that is. Okay. All right, so I doubt that he actually looked like that. Yes, this is photoshopped. Okay. 3 crates. I did say I know I have a problem, he says. So it looks like his little mini tractor is electric too. That's good. This is long. Long photo. I just wanted to look at the pictures. All the EVs you can get for under $300 a month. Remember, get your EVs if you're intending to use tax credit by the end of next month. Like 11/59/59. Have all your paperwork in and done and signed. Otherwise, it's going to be $7,500 more than you were intending for everything else. Liebherr R920 G8E electric crawler and excavator. That sounds cool. The model completes the product line of Liebherr crawler excavators produced by Colmar in France and is particularly quiet and emission-free. It generates the same output as the diesel machine in the same category and is particularly suitable for building sites that require low noise levels and avoiding exhaust emissions, such as in cities and underground operating locations. This makes sense. They are very particular about their output levels when they sell them. So, okay, why would it not meet what it says on the side? And especially if the diesel one is just turning a generator with the diesel engine, then it's already electric. Now, if it's mostly hydraulic, then that still applies. You just make sure that your hydraulic input is sufficient. Controls look pretty intuitive. Cabin looks like what you'd like. Hand detection, capacity proximity sensor detects the operator's hand automatically, enabling seamless activation of controls only when needed. Functional safety, control elements with status LEDs, safe operation of critical functions without requiring two-handed input, streamlining workflow while maintaining safety standards. Optical feedback, integrated RGB LEDs on the joystick provide real-time visual cues about device status and servo control, ensuring clear communication without distraction. So on a electric-based vehicle, not that you can't do this with a combustion-based vehicle, it's a lot easier to get servo motors, and sensors, and everything in there without them just rattling themselves to pieces and then having to be an expensive maintenance trap. So this is cool. Haptic feedback, vibrations, and vibrations wouldn't even matter on a thing that was shaking itself like an old jalopy. Vibrations alert the operator to critical conditions such as reaching dynamic device limits, enhancing situational awareness, and speeding up reaction times. Not that they couldn't do like a seat buzzer on the diesel, but it had to be a really strong one, and you'd have to hope that the operator was paying enough attention. Like, oh, this thing just buzzed. Hand detection, display navigation, ergonomics is always important because I don't care how cheap you want to make it, you need to take care of your workers. And obviously, if you buy it for yourself, you want it to be comfortable and safe. But you take care of your workers, they will take care of you until they retire. Or you can be cheap butts, and they will hop and hop and hop and get what they want from somebody who does care, or at least somebody who'll pay them a little bit more. So, if the notion of battery electric lever excavator seems familiar, it's because they've been doing it for over 2 years now. We've been reporting on all of them. All right, this bike looks cool right here. The Mars 3.0. Looks like Rivian is working on a steer-by-wire system. I'm surprised they didn't already. They posted a job title for steering engineer, specifically mentioning work on a future steer-by-wire system for the company. So the next question is this steer-by-wire going to be 12 volts or 48 volts? Tesla said they had to go 48 volts to make it work. GM has rear steer-by-wire. But I don't think that the front is steer-by-wire. So Tesla said they had to. You know what? I don't think they had to, but it would have been really expensive and heavy to not do it that way, because at 12 volts, you would have needed some incredible wiring just to handle the requirements, and then you need a big juicy motor to do it. Versus on 48 volts, you can slim down all of that, all the wiring, motor, everything. A few cars have implemented steer-by-wire, at least fully, and given that mechanical steering racks are a relatively solved problem, the general inertia, that's the other part, is that once it's done in a solution, they can just pick off the shelf. Legacies don't really care to go back and try to do something new, other than styling. Because people can see styling, people can feel styling, and they'll pay you for it. They won't pay you for a voltage swap. So you can prove to them how it helps them. They don't even try to prove it. Steer-by-wire made it into mass production with the release of Cybertruck. Seems that Fred doesn't hate Tesla. It seems that they opened the floodgates as yet number of other companies are working on it. You've got Lexus is doing it with 12 volts. I'm curious which approach to it that Rivian does. I don't see that they go from hiring the CI to say, oh, we don't want to do it, unless they say, oh, we don't want to do 48 volts. But even that's not a showstopper. As long as they don't say, we don't want to do 48 volts, and we're not going to put a 3 kilowatt steering motor in. Do you know how many big Americans we could travel around the country on the e-bikes with a 3 kilowatt motor? And you want that to just to steer the wheels? Yep. Elon gets $26 billion while Tesla gets flooded with lawsuits, and Dojo is dead. Yep. So Patrick had a good overview on the pay package because I wasn't paying enough attention to it. I was aware of it, and I was aware of some of the things they were saying about it, but oh wow! Apparently, Moto, a little salesman out there, she sold some of her toys and got $100. So I'm gonna see if she's gonna put it in her bank account or if she's going to buy a toy. She's been looking at a toy for the last couple of days, and we'll let you know if there's another EV at the house, which one she ended up with. Hyundai's most affordable electric SUV is a hit. Tesla used car prices keep plummeting. Dips below average used car price. Yep. Ford puts new electric pickup on the back burner, but promises lower priced EVs. All right, so this one is disappointing, but it also makes sense, and I get it and respect it. You sell your pickup trucks as towing machines. EVs just got more expensive with the big legislation. So why not hold back a bit until you can make this thing cheaper when you know that your part supply is going to be some kind of stable in price and in availability, and the batteries will continue to get cheaper and better while you wait, so that you don't have people whining about, oh, it says it's 300 miles, but I only get 100 miles when I tow at 20 miles an hour over the speed limit in extreme heat or extreme cold with the climate control set to maximum, and a crosswind and a headwind. So yeah, this is terrible. Oh, and I got the standard range model. I can't even tow instead of the long range. So I don't blame Ford for holding back on this particular juncture. Brian says I'm still going. Yes, I had a late start, and I was just running through some stuff across the screen because I thought I had more in my notebook, but I did not. And he says he ran all his errands and just got back. I'm a beast. Thank you very much. If it's a motorcycle, you can say I got the iron butt challenge, right? But like I said, Moto did just make her sales, so we'll see if she's going to pick up her EV or if she's going to put it in her bank account. Forklift certified. Bedrock secures 80 million to develop AI equipment operators. That's interesting. If I were in the warehouse with an AI forklift, I would want to either see some serious safety controls, or I'd want to see it operate a long time before I go work alongside it. Yeah, come on over. Let me copy the permalink. This way, Brian can just jump in whenever he wants. Let me go over to. Let's get an email. I've got email open. Permalink. There we go. And let's close this here. And I think we'll have a pretty cool discussion on that Ford situation and this forklift. There we are.
Hello. Who is this? What am I doing here?
I end up on this box.
Good to see you, man.
You too. It's been a week. Oh man.
Oh, has it? Oh, has it? Oh, there was Tesla news this week, was there?
Well, there was
and
that,
other news as well.
And other news, of course.
I'm surprised this week had news. Why that is so unusual.
Yeah, so we'll see if the baby wants to buy herself a used EV. She probably does.
I have been going down periodically to a place just south of Portland called Platt Auto, and they only sell used EVs. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they have an odd hybrid or two, the gateway drug. And the deals on secondhand EVs are wonderful, especially until the state and federal credits expire. State expires on I think the 5th of September, federal the end of September.
Oh wow!
And my gosh,
can you get,
yeah, you guys can get one heck of a deal. They've got two Honda Prologues there, one at 24, 25,000, the other at 28,000. Wow. And if you like terrible, man, these cars might be
Hi,
just
Brian.
Hey, Highlander, how are you?
If you like terrible. She's looking at a used Cinderella Princess. So
those get good mileage.
They do get great mileage because they can only go 5 miles an hour. but I'll need to either buy or build a new battery for it. But the picture, the condition looks good, so we'll take a look at that. What did you think about Ford holding off on their smaller pickup? I'm thinking the timing is right to do the hold off.
Well,
business and politically,
it would have qualified for the incentive if there was one.
yeah.
That would have made it a real slam dunk. I didn't see the news. Was it something that was going to be like a all electric Maverick?
Yeah,
People have
that's
been
how I was describing
asking for
it.
that.
Yeah.
People have been asking for that.
Yeah.
The hybrid Maverick has sold quite well. All of their retro designs, the new Bronco sells quite well.
Yeah.
People just want something that doesn't look like the same thing over and over.
Right. Or giant for no reason. Like if it's giant, it's got to be a reason.
Well, but the giant for no reason seems to sell in the US at least.
For show, yeah. But like if you wanted it as like a work truck and it was just too big to work with.
Why would it be too big? I mean, if you're a contractor, you know, where are you a contractor that curb space is a constraint?
True.
And
but like
an
Hummer,
extra
Hummer
foot.
pickup.
Well, the Hummer is when people, I say, oh, EVs are just, more efficient, better. People will bring up the Hummer, and I go, that doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's in its own category. There's nothing else. There's no gas equivalent to the Hummer except maybe the old Hummer.
The other Hummer.
Yeah. Even then, people would say, "Oh, cars are getting too big. Look at the Hummer." I go, right, but that's just one. No one else is doing that for a good reason, because that battery weighs more than a Honda Civic. Not exaggerating, and it has basically 3 Model Y batteries in it. Mm-hmm. Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, I had a chance to sit in I had a chance to actually take it on a test drive too, but I didn't know the Bright Drop, and I didn't know they made a shorter range one, but that one had a giant battery too. I was like, wow.
I did not know that. That's good to know.
I
those
thought they were all the big one.
They fill a need.
They do.
I don't know what the range is on Bright Drop. I know on Rivian, it's not super exciting, 150, 180 miles.
Yeah, the one we sat in was about that, but the one that I've been looking at was around 200, because they were bragging about how they did a DC to New York run on one charge.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a couple things that come up with those business trucks. The first is that the range has to be real.
Yes.
Business buyers will sue you inside out if they think they're getting a 300-mile range and it turns out to be 200, because you just blew up their business case.
Exactly.
And not so much sue, but they would take one out they would buy one to demo it and then rip you a new one and not buy from you ever again.
While running you through the news.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. We don't see those stories, so probably not that. But but the other thing with a business is your use case. Yes. You know if it works for you.
Exactly.
I have a guy I met about a year ago at an event in Portland who has an electric Ford van. It's just a regular old van that they just electrified at the factory in Kansas. And
so not the transit electric, but just the transit.
Not the transit.
It's electric.
Just an E150.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah. And so it is a factory job. It looks like a normal van. The interior has 6 inches missing from the floor because they just put the battery inside the back of the van.
Okay.
If you open the hood, you'll see where the engine used to be, the electronics and a small motor. Nice. You get 150 miles of range. This gentleman explained that with all the incentives and whatnot, he paid about $42,000 for it. Wow. And he said that with the gas savings, it is going to be about 3.5 years before the van is free.
Nice.
And then, of course, in the comments, people saying, "Oh, well, where is he going to charge it? What if he has a trailer?" Guys, I think he knows an electrician.
Right? And he also knows he drives a trailer.
Yeah, he knows his use case. And 150 miles, that's just not enough. He works in the Tri-County area. it's enough.
I'm sure there's plenty of business in 150 miles.
75 miles in any direction from Portland, that's millions of people.
Yes.
And when he does have to periodically go to Seattle to pick up some oddball part or fixture, he knows where the charger is in between.
Yeah, so you can either do the in-between charger or use your old truck if you didn't get rid of it.
One thing we're seeing in the developing world is, and I won't go into too many specifics because I have a great big mystery trip coming up in a week that I do not wish to spill.
You'll find that in the Future channel right
there. I'm going to a place that is aggressive about electrification. Okay. Now, if you've got a country where you don't have domestic oil resources, odds are you're paying a good bit for gasoline. And that's true of almost every country in the world. Even countries that have domestic gasoline, you're still looking at the equivalent of $3 to $5 at a minimum. Many countries, it's $8 or more. But electricity, if you have domestic electricity, if you have any kind of natural resource that provides solar or hydro or wind, you can get that down well under 10 cents, especially if you're not doing a big for-profit kind of nonsense deal. That means you're going to save 80 to 90% on your per mile fueling cost. In countries that don't have a domestic auto industry to protect, it's a no-brainer. You're going to buy cars from China or India or wherever you can get them cheap. You're going to get models from companies like Kia that they don't sell in the US and Europe. And in those countries, you're going to see big spikes in adoption, provided it's a country where people have any ability to charge at home. Mexico is really concentrated in urban centers. That makes for a difficult charging landscape. But Mexico is a bit of an outlier. Most countries are more spread out than that. And Mexico is a very big country, make no mistake.
Yeah.
But the population density, it's all concentrated in a couple of quite large cities.
Yeah, the geography is not advantageous for them for spreading out like we do. The places people want to live and can afford to live and eat and do the necessities is it's concentrated around those cities. So
interestingly, so now while Mexico City has a diversity of food, obviously they have fantastic Mexican food, but they've got a diversity because people who live and work in Mexico City a lot of them are worldly. They've been to other places. You can get fantastic barbecue in Mexico City. You can get a wonderful po' boy in Mexico City.
Oh, wow.
Monterrey, on the other hand, has no diversity of food, even Mexican food. If you're in Monterrey, you're getting Monterrey-style Mexican food. You're getting street tacos. Burritos? No. I can roll your taco kind of weird for you if you want me to, but it's still going to be a taco.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's be interesting to watch. And I'm curious, though, these places that know they have density, but they still have individual cars. I'm curious if they don't do something like we see with now that NACS has the pole style charging where you bring your own cable. They adopted that from Europe. I wonder if that will make a difference. And like we saw with the young folks that Mark tuned us to that are doing the pole charging project for home and business here in the States.
Now, when you say pole charging, you mean street light?
Like a street light or just a little.
Something pole that like goes out under the sidewalk and you just stand it up.
Yeah.
Looks like an RV charger or plug-in.
Right. And you just plug your socket into it and then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
In Europe, we've seen, those big sodium lamps they use to light your street.
Yeah.
When they replace the sodium lamp, which is like pretty good draw, 5, 6.
Volts.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good draw. With LED, they've got surplus power, especially, and 8 more watts of it during the day because the light's not on.
Yeah.
So BP, I think it's BP. I did a video with them when I was in England. They were at the Fully Charged show in Farnborough.
Yeah.
They undo the little panel, and then they drill an extra hole in it, and that's it. The guts just go into it. They wire it up, and that new hole they put is where the plug goes.
Nice.
And I said, wow, can anyone order these? They go, no, we work with the city. So the city will tell us to come in. And over the course of like 2 weeks, we put in hundreds.
Well, I mean, you get hundreds of orders at once. I don't mind them specializing.
Right. Well, yeah, you've got all your permits, you've got all your logistics, you've got someone you can call if there's an issue.
Yeah.
It moves real quick.
Oh, especially
then,
the city, like, hey, here's your permits. We've done it already. Here's the money. Make it happen.
Yes. And then the city also has the ability to say, oh, you don't want to go down that street? You're going down that street too.
Nice.
But you will pay for that
It'd
juice.
be a shame if you lose these 800 orders on the street.
Right. You got to average it out. You may not want all of them out there, but average it out. And BP is not doing it for free. They're not doing it because they're a benevolent. Yeah.
And I'm sure they make money on each session or on
every session.
Like
Yep. You use their app to access it.
All right. So basically the government said, hey, we need this for our people. Here's a monopoly.
Well, yes. I mean, if you live on that street and have off-street parking, monopoly busted.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. But if you have anybody visiting, or like if you have for some reason the multifamilies, unless they're just like really tech progressive, they're not at all considering.
I do all my charging at home.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain about having access to additional capacity.
Exactly. But like with me, when I rent this place out, I've got the Max charger there and the solar, and they can use it if they want to. They don't have to use it if they don't want to. They just have a lower electric bill. And the cool thing is, whenever I finally get somebody who does have an EV, their next and previous landlords won't have charging available, so they're gonna want to, as long as I want to keep them, as long as they like me. And my pricing,
I did want to say, I did say about the Hummer. I had a chance to take a test ride in one at the Detroit Auto Show. Mm-hmm. I've had a chance to see them at car shows, and for how big they are on the outside, they're not very big on the inside.
I was afraid you're going to say that.
Yeah, it's a 5-seater.
Yeah,
it's a comfortable 5-seater, but this thing is the size of a bus.
And it's cramped when you get in there.
And it's cramped on the inside.
Oh, it's like the original.
Yes. And to Highlander, I am not going to India. I would love to go to India, but that's the kind of place where I would need ground support to go there. That would be a good one. Also, I don't know what the visa policy is for India, but it's I think there's steps.
Did you know that you had to partner with a local Indian journalist and give them 60% of the story?
Well, I don't know about India, but I know a lot of countries, if you're going on a tourist visa, you have to have someone either sponsor you or be part of a tour group. And it's like, that's a lot of steps.
It is.
And for a lot of countries, you have to apply for the visa in person at the embassy. Don't know if you know this. There are no embassies in the Northwest. There might be one or two, but no.
They tend to be closer to this area.
Well, Atlanta has a lot of them. DC, San Francisco. I think LA has quite a few.
New York.
Northwest, New York. Oh, yes, New York.
But I don't think they have a choice about New York.
Yeah. Otherwise, some countries just really make it challenging to visit, which is unfortunate, but
I mean, we've been spoiled by the whole, in the past, we just, here's my blue one, and just walk on through. It's rubber stamp.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently you need a visa to go to Europe.
I mean, we did this to ourselves.
We did this to ourselves.
We did this to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is in the news?
I was looking at that forklift, AI forklift, and
because that's what you need.
I don't need it. I was just thinking, man, if I had to work alongside that thing, I'd want to know that the safety controls were solid, or I'd want to see it in operation for many, many hours before I'd be willing to step out there with it.
question I got frequently after going to the diner. Sorry you couldn't hear my report. You got to see it eventually, I see.
I did hear the Mark sent us a copy of the link, and it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been fun. People were asking.
I'm sure there's a joke in there. Because Brian looks like he's telling us a joke right now, and he
And
did.
I did. The question I got frequently was Optimus autonomous or remote operated?
Or
And
statue.
no, he was in motion.
Okay,
He was in
good.
motion. He was serving popcorn.
Somebody went before you. I don't know if he was down for repairs or recharging, or he was in statue mode instead of dynamic.
While I was there, in my video about the diner, you can see them plug him in while he's working.
Oh, cool. Oh, like with the tether, like you used to do in the factory.
Right in the middle of your back, between your shoulder blades, is where the port is.
Yeah.
It is not a NAX port. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I know. And on that, I said, I don't think Tesla is ready to let the Optimus run autonomously around children. Here's
No.
Here's your popcorn, small human.
Boom.
Fragile human.
The during the Wii robot, the one caught the lady's handbag strap and it fell down. And they were apparently, based on the way they wrote that, they were prepared for more carnage, but there were no small children there either. So same situation.
Yeah, next time.
So that's kind of cool though. They left that mode in where it can run tethered, because I can see some factory situations where the human has to ask for the bathroom break. So why would the autonomous machine need to be able to freely leave the station?
Right. Why would the autonomous bot need to go offline to charge? The car makes sense. It's tethered.
Yeah.
Don't allow motion while tethered.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Naked Gun?
No.
There is a joke about a car trying to leave while still plugged in. It's very funny.
All right.
No spoilers, The movie was, I thought, quite good. It did a good job of being silly.
Putting it on my playlist now. Naked Gun from the files of...
Well, the new Naked Gun.
This year or...
This year. It's in theaters now.
Oh, in theaters now. I definitely need to add it to my list.
I saw it last week. Yeah, did you hear who they replaced Liam Neeson with?
No.
Oh, you're going to love it. Leslie Nielsen. They replaced him with Liam Neeson is now.
Oh.
Yeah, so Leslie Nielsen was very good. He was a serious dramatic actor, and so they had to do a serious dramatic actor who's also funny. Liam Neeson is the new Frank Drebin Jr.
Okay. I spelled good new. In my first window, it took away my search.
And it is directed by Akiva Schaffer from Lonely Island.
Okay. It's got a good cast.
It's got a very good cast, yeah.
I guess this one hits streaming or rentals. Or when these two can prove they can attend a movie theater.
Yeah. They don't have cry rooms anymore. Do you remember those?
Anymore. Yes. One of the churches we went to had them too. That was kind of cool.
My church was a cry room, so
I like that.
Therapeutic.
But yeah, so we just still got to work at the apartments. What do you say? Yeah, so with the AI running around, I'd want to see that how it was to perform if it had them man skewering forks on me. I
can't validate your code. If it's neural net, I can't validate your code. All I can do is test it.
Did you watch that that Chinese showdown with the 56 autonomous cars or so?
No, I'm aware of it. Is it, you mean the
90-minute one?
No, I didn't.
So they had basically they set it up so that the cars had 3 lives, video game style, and so they had like enough of them to do that. So they had the Model 3 Highland, and Model X. It was the Palladium generation, but it sounded like it was running the Hardware 3. and it looked like it was running Harbor 3 as well when you looked at some of the decisions it made. And then a bunch of other Chinese cars, and then they picked some Volkswagen and a couple other. They called them. They didn't call them what we call them legacy. They called them like foreign domestic or something to that effect.
Okay.
And the results were
concerning.
Oh, that for sure. And that was one of the things that the professor said. He's like, I can't evaluate what's going on with the neural net. I mean, I can see what it did, and I can see that it's going to do it again and again. But if you update it, I don't know what's going to happen. And
it might make fewer mistakes. It might make all new critical mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they only had one crash driver through the whole of it. And like he was wearing all his safety gear. I was like, man, I think even though he was hitting foam cars and foam trailers and was wearing the harness, like the amount of cracked windshields and bumpers flying off I saw, it's like he is not having a good evening.
It's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have, seen the results of, I don't know if it's the same test, but that said 3 and Y came out on top.
Yeah, they did. 3. Well, there was no Y in this one. It's 3 and X.
Oh, 3 and X.
Mm-hmm.
I may have seen a different one.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't see them. I just saw the results because
it was 90 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and there's a million of these. There's a million stories to follow, and I can't follow all of them. I've tried.
Right. It'll eat into the both ends of the sleep at the end. But the conclusion was, these are nice. They're good co-pilots. Help you avoid making mistakes or make less of them or make the ones you make less impactful. But you can't just give up and give in like we saw earlier in the show with the makeup lady and the fool eating the tacos with the steering wheel tray on the steering wheel watching TV inside. The makeup is somewhat excusable because at least it's safer than what she was doing before with cruise control.
Right. With one knee on the wheel.
I'm not saying I condone it. I'm just saying that it's less dangerous than it was before.
I had someone tell me that I said that I'm safer than you on the road because when I have FSD engaged, I cannot text. I cannot. And he said, well, I have to text. Oh, geez. You're the person who needs this most of all. You're the person I don't want to be on the road with. Exactly. You don't have to text. And if I set up my phone right, I could text from voice, but I haven't.
I do the voice sometimes, but sometimes I have to repeat myself. I'll just wait till I stop moving.
I'll just wait until I stop. And understand that when I'm on one of these little road trips, I'm going to go dark for hours at a time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
If it's urgent enough, the family can reach me on a voice call, and if it's still more urgent, then I can pull over and deal with it. But
I won't know if there's an urgency because I am not checking.
Turn it off. Yeah,
I'm just not checking. I'm not looking. I mean, I have notifications turned off on almost everything.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because
I mean, like, hey, we need to, instead of going to grandma's house, you need to go to dad's house because something happened. They can call me and tell me, but if they text me, I probably won't see it till the next stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I have reached out to Patrick to join us on September 13th at the OEVA Ride and Drive event as a speaker.
All right.
Hopefully his schedule works with that. I talked with Ron, the president of the OEVA, told him the idea. He said it sounds great, and to reach out to Patrick. So I've done that.
Nice. Awesome. That would be exciting. That's going to be on your channel, or?
Well, it will be. Yes. If he's available. All of those presentations do wind up on my channel. Patrick is a great asset to the community. Yeah. He's extremely knowledgeable. And I think he presents very well, which is the trifecta for what you need at an event like this. And we need new perspectives. I can do, and I told Ron, and also I'm going to do one presentation instead of 2 because it's too much. It's too much. So, yeah. Yes, do hit smack thumbs, yours and your neighbor. Not legal advice.
Oh, man. So we've discussed how we both feel about these distracted driving TikTok stories, and don't do it. It's not
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
And the one guy, he sounded like he was trying to make a case. He's like, yeah, this one right here that proves that Tesla isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like the two examples he used that really ground my gears right away was he said the fact that they had a recall of 200 million vehicles, however many it was, 2 million. If you're this deep into the article, writing as technically as you are, you know that was just a regular software patch. Have them get classed as a recall. You can't use that as an example for why this is a whatever. And you can kind of say that the lawsuit was, but in the lawsuit, when you look at the link, even the link admitted that they knew that they were not using it correctly when they had their fatal incident. So it's like,
so here's how
can point at. Yeah.
Here's how recalls work. According to NHTSA, you look at the severity of the issue and the difficulty of the correction. So, for example, if it's an airbag that's going to malfunction,
Yeah.
it's a severe fix, but it's a severe problem. You have to do it.
Yeah.
If it's a loose screw behind the dash, that's a lot of work, but probably no gain, not very minimal gain. So it's not super critical. It's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money for very little improvement. They won't do it.
Right.
Anything that's over the air is sufficiently easy that you must do it. You remember the park and drive icons
Yes.
were indiscernibly different from what they wanted. If that was Ford or GM, they would not have done a recall because the complexity of the problem is too great compared to the gain that you would get.
Get a 5% larger icon that nobody noticed.
Was it? To me, they were indiscernible. When it happened, I didn't even know.
It was like 3 pixels. It was not.
Yes.
But like I said, it was next to free, and they were already pushing out updates around the
Well,
world.
yes. So
monthly. Yeah.
It costs you guys almost nothing. The amount of time it takes you to design it is everybody would have to design it. But when you're done designing it, you push a button and it happens. You have to do it.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
So what I would like NHTSA to permit is when a recall happens, I would like a pop-up notification that says, do you want an email of this or a physical letter of this? And if you ignore it or discard or dismiss it, you get a physical letter.
Yeah, I like that.
But allow me to opt out of it because, guys, this is mental. You're sending
and if I've already got it, like if it's already fixed.
This happened 3 weeks ago.
Fixed, yeah.
So don't. What I'd like to do is get the email addresses, the physical addresses of everyone at NHTSA who's able to change this and start a letter writing campaign from millions of us to their desk saying less paper.
We get it. We stop the paper.
Well, when I worked at Washington Mutual, we had 2 of the silliest forms I'd ever seen in a, when you close the closing documents, a big stack of paper. This one is, insurance requirements. This one is, we can verify your tax returns, whatever. Yeah. This is the affidavit, the signature affidavit. What's that? You're signing that this is your signature.
You haven't designed that 1,500 times in that stack of papers?
If those 1,500 others weren't real, what makes you think this one is? They're like, hey, all of these were born in blood. And the other one I loved was the notification of the Paperwork Reduction Act. Sign here.
Add in the paper that you understand that we want to reduce the paper.
Thank you, I guess.
Wild.
Yes. Kacey is joining us in Chattanooga. I have not made a decision on Chattanooga yet. Because it's far and it's small, and I don't know who all would be going for me to better spread out my costs. I was looking at going to the Cybertruck Fest in Ocala, but I can't reach Drake to determine if that's even still happening. And I reached out to some other people in Florida, and they're not able to reach Drake, so I just haven't booked it. Okay. Because the miles, it would have been a very cheap trip if I booked far enough out using miles. Yeah. But the closer you get, the less
more goes up. Yeah.
The more it goes up. I did book my tickets to the shareholder meeting for 10,800 miles, nice. Which for reference is about how many miles they gave me for messing up my ticket to Shanghai. Yeah. So very close to free. And I'm staying at a buddy's house.
Nice. Yeah, well, leave your wallet at home, stay with friends, pack a lunch. The
Yeah.
supercharger promise that is no longer true.
The what?
The supercharger promise is no longer true. It is for me, but not for
Oh,
any new customers. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one reason I think we might not have vehicle to grid is could you imagine getting free supercharger miles for life and you just keep filling up your power wall at home?
Nice.
I think that's a loophole they would seek to close.
Yeah, I can see them saying, "Hey, you got this, you can't use that."
Highlander says I can fly Delta. Just got my Delta credit card. Thanks to you. That's what I use for everything.
Nice.
I run everything through my Delta Sky Miles account so that I can go to these events.
So I need to take a little princess to go look at a little princess automobile, and I want to thank everybody for coming through today, and I want to thank Brian for coming on screen, and appreciate that. Always a blast.
Yeah.
Got to catch up because you're always on to something, and I want to see what you're up to. And I want to thank our channel members for your monetary help. It does help lessen the impact of the bills of this thing. And again, thank all of you guys for putting up with me being late and all the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Like that. And for the likes and the thumbs and all that. Catch Brian. You said on Wednesday you got one coming, or
one what? I'm leaving next Saturday.
You're leaving Saturday,
but the reports from it probably won't start surfacing until Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. So it's going to be a little while. Okay. But it's really, really far.
So go to Brian's channel on Future Ozla, click the bell, and then you'll know every time something comes up. That'll take care of that. And so then I guess maybe what I'll do is I'll use the YouTube and X posts features if we like what we see and she gets the car. I don't know. Maybe. No promises. But keep an eye on G Custom and Kacey Green, and you might get an update on the Princess car. You might not. So thanks everybody, and I'll catch you on the flip side, and then chat with Brian a little bit right after we end this, and then I pack up all the screens and stuff.